Hi everybody, I hope you're having a good week. I believe this is our 7th workout of the series here, so I want to advance our strength circuits a little bit. We started with these in the second workout, so I'm just going to add to it, tweak things a little bit, just give you some variety and a few different options for each thing in case you're not fully comfortable or don't have the equipment we need. So go ahead and do your foam rolling or whatever warm-up you need to do, and we'll get 2 circuits today, so 2 4-part circuits. The first one, if you have dumbbells, go ahead and grab them. If you have a foam roller, you'll possibly want that, or if you have a long, narrow couch cushion. I'm going to be using kind of this coffee table storage bin chest that we have for our presses. So here's how this is going to look. I'm going to set up for the presses first, and then I'll show you with the actual weights. So pretend this is either that long cushion or the foam roller, or just on the floor if you don't have anything that works. But if you do have something, we're going to use this to put ourselves in a good glute bridge position. So the chest is behind my back, my hips are floating, but the glutes are tight, abs are tight. We're going to get our dumbbells set, and then we'll alternate one arm at a time here. To exit out, we'll squat out of the position. So go ahead and try that without weights if you haven't done this before, because it can be a little tricky to get into and out of. So once we get our weights and we're set up, all right, so my glutes and abs are going to stay tight the whole set. Let's go for about 10 on each arm. Now, if you don't have heavy enough weights, feel free to go to 15 or 20. If you have heavy enough to challenge yourself with 8 or 6, feel free, but the form should never break down. Okay, so there's our presses for today. Second exercise, we're going to move to either a deadlift or a lunge, whichever you feel more comfortable with. So for the deadlift variation, I want your feet a little bit staggered. So one foot will be a little bit behind the other. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties here. Okay. So one foot a little bit behind the other. The movement comes from the hips. So I'm going to sink my hips back and use my front leg to push through the floor. So from the other side, a little bit closer. Feet are staggered. My back heel is up off the floor. I'm going to sink my hips back. I'm trying to put as much tension into my front leg as I can, and I'll push through the floor. So with weights, all that's going to look like, notice my chest comes down with me. I don't round over. I'm pulled back and tight here, but I'm not trying to stay tall. I'm going to sink my hips back, let my chest come with, use mainly my front leg to push. Now, if you're not comfortable with that, step a little further back. We'll get that same hip movement, but this opens up a little more space for you. We're going to finish down on the floor for 2 exercises. We'll get into a crawl position. So it starts on all fours. We're going to come up off the knees, and we have shoulder taps, just like we've done from the plank. Last exercise, we'll stay on the floor, but we're going to do some bridge marches. All right, so we'll be up in a bridge. Glutes stay tight, abs stay tight. Short little marches. Notice my hips don't move here. Go ahead and grab a dumbbell, a loaded backpack, a case of water. Let's add some weight. Keep your hips high and glutes squeezing tight. All right, those are the 4 exercises for the first circuit. Go ahead and pause me, get through a few rounds, and we'll be back for the second circuit. Okay, so we're going to start our second circuit with some marches here. So let's grab dumbbells or some kind of weight. For loaded marches, all we're doing is high knee, and I want you to stay really steady. So if I don't engage my abs, I start to move back and forth. I want you to stay tall and tight. Shoulders and head should not move at all. Let's get about 10 to 20 marches on each leg with that. Second exercise, we're going to go to a squat with a curl. So I'm going to get my normal squat. While I'm down in the bottom position, I'm going to do a curl and back up. When we sink, I want you to try to stay right where you are. Again, just like the marches. If I don't control my center, my body's going to shift as I move that weight. Let's sink. Good curl, back up. About 10 there. All right, so now I want to get to some push-up progressions. If you're not quite ready yet to do push-ups from the floor, go ahead and elevate. You can try these progressions from there. They might still be a little too tough. Stick with whatever you can get the most out of. So for push-up progressions, we're either going to do an alternate leg lift. So on the way down, I'm going to lift up a foot. I'll alternate each time. Or I'm going to do Spider-Man push-ups up to the side. Last exercise, we're going to use either a band or a towel. I haven't used the band much, if at all, so if you have them, great. If not, grab a towel, just like we used for last week. So 4 rows with the band. All right, so all we're going to do is brace with the front leg, up nice and tall. We know our good half kneeling position here, right? Glutes tight, pushing forward. There's our row. So, good thing with band is I can use one width of it. So it's hard to see here. I'm just using one width, or I can grab both, or I can loop that band around my foot twice, and now I basically have 4 widths of the band. So a good way to get different resistance for different exercises. If you're doing a towel, let's have you actually move the band this time. So we'll let you pull, other hand's going to pull back. Let that towel slide across your foot if you can. All right, so there's our second circuit. Go ahead and knock that out for a few rounds. Thanks so much, and I'll get back to you guys later this week. Thanks.